Today's topic is going to be 3 ways to desexualize the brain. You're going to need this because so many of you as men have been struggling with porn, struggling with sex, struggling with masturbation, struggling with strip clubs, the bars, the OF models, all kinds of things sexual. Or you just scrolling on your phone, looking at cheeks all day, looking at breasts all day. I mean, I'm a man, so I'm going to talk to you like a man now. You got to cut it out. Let's be honest. You got to cut this out. You've been doing the same thing over and over and over again. And here it is. We are in December of me recording this video. In about, let's say, I don't know, about like 14 days or so, we're going to be in January. So we're going to be in 2025, and you are still going to be struggling with pornography. You still going to be struggling with touching yourself. At this point, you need some help. That's what you need. You need to go get you some help. Because at this doggone point in your life, I don't know what else to tell you. We can't sit down here doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting something different to happen. It's just not going to happen like that. You have to make something happen with your life. You understand? It's all about practicality. It's all about putting things into practice. Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed. Like I'll even tell you right now, when it comes to recovering from an addiction, any addiction that you go through is going to take you some time. I still to this day battle with anxiety and depression from time to time. I still battle with flat lines from time to time, but I have better coping mechanisms like prayer, like fasting, like meditation, like getting outside, going to the gym, calling my accountability partners, going out to social events. Even if I don't even want to go to the social event, I go anyway. You want to know why? Because I know when I stay inside of my apartment for far too long, what ends up happening? I get overwhelmed, I get stressed, I deal with anxiety, I'll deal with depression, I'll deal with all these kinds of things, and what's going to end up happening? So how am I going to feel better right now? I'm going to give into my urges. Yep, I'm going to get right into my urges. I'm going to get right into it, and then what's going to end up happening afterwards? I'm going to be lying around, made a whole mess, just being real with you now. They made a whole mess, and now I'm sitting down here being like, dang, I probably shouldn't even have done that. It wasn't even worth it. See, that's our problem. A lot of us as men, our issue is that we don't get started. So without further ado, I'm doing my little monologue. I'll get right into the video, man. The 3 ways to desexualize from sexual sin. So we're going to start with number 1. All right, so let's get into it, man. What you need to do is you need to unfollow anything sexual on social media. Whether it's the woman with the low-cut top, whether it's the gym model, the gym thought, whatever the case may be, unfollow her. Stop looking at boobs. Stop looking at breasts. Stop chasing after this temporary pleasure. The only reason why you're doing this is because you're lonely, you're lost, you're not socializing with anybody, you're not even talking to the opposite sex. And the reason why you don't want to talk to the opposite sex is very simple. You don't want to talk to the opposite sex because you don't feel confident in your own skin. And I mean it. You're going to go through cold sweats, anxiety, a little bit of depression. You're going to find yourself being very irritable, man. Very irritated, very agitated. It's a part of the process. It's a part of the process. See, that's our problem with so many of us as men. Notice the men back in the day. The men back in the day wasn't letting their urges get the best of them. They went through flat lines. They was moody. They was agitated. But they made sure they took care of their families. They made sure they was eating the right food. They made sure they was hunting whatever they needed to hunt. But most importantly, they made sure that they put their purpose first and their pleasure second. They put their purpose first and their pleasure second. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. They didn't sit down here talking about, oh, I'm dealing with this urge, man. I got to get rid of this urge. I got to get rid of this urge. No, they didn't do that at all. You know what they decided to do? They decided, you know what? Here's what I'm about to do. I'm about to put my head down and I'm going to put in that work. And that's what you need to do. Put your head down and put in the work. That's it. Many of you, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not some special snowflake. God didn't create you differently than anybody else. No, I don't want to hear any of that spiritualization stuff. I don't want to hear any of this stuff. The issue is this. You have been conditioned to be lazy and to take the shortcut. That's what you've been conditioned to do. You've been conditioned to take shortcuts. You don't want to work hard. You want to lie around all day doing nothing like a dog, like an animal. You're not an animal. You're a grown man. So that means you got to be on the hunt. You got to be on the prowl. You got to go make something happen with your life. How could you make something happen with your life if all you're doing is this, right? All you're doing is looking at porn, scrolling on IG, double tapping all these photos. And the thing about it is this, I'm just going to be real with you. You ain't even got the balls to talk to that woman. And 9 times out of 10, that woman that you're following, all she wants you to do is go subscribe to her OnlyFans page. Let me tell you something. She wants you to subscribe to her OnlyFans page because she wants you to pay her some money. Because she got to pay her rent and get a college debt. And I said what I said. I said what I said. That's not your godly wife. That's not your godly wife. And for those who follow me and don't believe in God, hey, that ain't going to be your girlfriend. Because the truth is this. If your woman is always using you for money, why would you think that's your girlfriend? I'm just saying, why in the world would you think that's your girlfriend? That's not your girlfriend. That's not your woman. That is from Lucifer. That's from Lucifer. Let's be real about it. That is from Lucifer. And here's what you need to do, right? Instead of following these half-naked women online, here's what you need to do. You need to replace this content with business, motivation content, and Christian content. So you can be more disciplined and more focused. Because there's research that says it, man. There's plenty of research that says you are what you consume. So let's be honest. Here on this side is you. You have been consuming a whole bunch of half-naked, sexualized content. So if we just put this down for about 90 days or so, right? And if for the next 90 days, you started watching content that was motivational, inspirational, and faith-based, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to say, you know what? Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. I'm just so grateful for this day. Let me get disciplined. Let me go out here and go make it happen. There's that song by Spiritual Tony. It's that Go and Get It with no hesitation. I forgot the rest of the lyrics, but you know what I'm saying, man? But at the end of the day, listen, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Get disciplined, okay? Discipline is your friend, not your enemy. You understand? God loves someone who is disciplined. Why do you think they got the word disciple from? The word discipline. So what do you need to do? You need to be disciplined. And number 2 is this, man. I would strongly recommend doing this, bro. Get rid of TV and get rid of movies. Think about it, man. Most of the content that we watching got sex scenes in it. So you seeing women with all this hanging out, all that hanging out, and you mean to tell me you trying to practice retention? You trying to get you a streak? It's doggone, it's dang near impossible. It's dang near impossible at this point. You over here trying to get all the way up here on your journey, and you keep getting knocked back down the mountain. And the reason why you keep getting knocked back down the mountain is as simple as this. You're not disciplined, as I just said earlier. You are not disciplined. You are not focused. You understand? You got to get focused. You got to get on retention. You got to go make something happen, man. Like, you cannot keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting something different to happen. Like most films that we watch. Like, I love the film Higher Learning. I love the film Forrest Gump. I love these kind of films. I believe they teach a lot of great life lessons. But I'll take Higher Learning, for example. Higher Learning has Malik and Tasia. They over here having sex. You feel what I'm saying? They over here having sex. And I'm just like, whoa, this is a little bit too much for me. I remember I went to a movie night, right? I went to this movie night with a couple of my friends. And they was watching, what's that film? Soul Food. Yup, they was watching Soul Food. Bruh, I had no idea how sexualized Soul Food was, man. Like, the amount of hooking up, the sex scenes, I had to just look to the other side and just put my head down like this. And we was already watching it off of a site that, let's be honest, was 1, 2, 3 movies. And then guess what popped up? A sex scene. Guess what else popped up? A pornographic site. You see what I'm saying? When you're really fighting for your purity, I'm going to let you know this, fellas. I'm going to let you know this right now. When you're really fighting for your purity, a lot of these things in the world going to just piss you off. I'm going to tell you why the things in this world going to piss you off. Because you just start realizing, like, why are we doing this? Like, I remember one time I was watching TV. I saw this woman. She was eating a cheeseburger in a bikini. And I'm like, why is she eating a cheeseburger in a bikini? Like, well, what is this about? But instead of just getting myself so angry and frustrated, because that's the thing about it. Like, you got to take your anger and you got to transmute it into something. And a lot of y'all don't do that. You don't take your anger and transmute it. And here's what you do. You whine, you complain, you fuss, you moan, and do all this whining and stuff like that. Instead of just saying, you know what? Why not just get rid of my TV? You know, why not cut back on YouTube? You know, even in them anime shows that a lot of you younger guys like. Come on now, let me talk to you too. Like, let me talk to you as well. Let's just be honest here. I seen them shows, man. They showing way too much up here. I'm like, okay, this is a cartoon show, but at the end of the day, this is a little bit too much for a cartoon. This is a little bit too much for an anime. Like, even these cartoon shows, these anime shows, like even the sexual references that they have in things like SpongeBob, Ed, Edd and Eddy and stuff like that, you can't play no games. That could trigger the brain too. You know, you don't want to be looked at as no lame, no mark, no trick, or no dork. I get what you're trying to say to me. I understand that. But at the end of the day, who is you trying to impress? Do you want to impress God or do you want to impress man? Because I'll be in this bedroom, man, just talking. I don't care. I talked about this topic in person. I don't care. I'm going to say what I got to say. I stand firm on sobriety, especially in abstinence, especially in celibate. Right here, we believe in having sex and the covenant of marriage because it's the right thing to do, number one. It's number two, it's in God's design. And number three, it helps you as a man to understand you don't need to be with all these women. That's the reason why. Look at practical application. Look at Diddy, Jay-Z, Usher, Trey Songz. Look at all these men, Carl Lenz, Derrick Jax, all these men who keep getting themselves in trouble. Look at the news. A lot of these men who get exposed because they was messing around with underage girls. It's not because, oh, well, you know, if they just looked at porn, they masturbated, they would have been just fine. No, that's not the case. The case was this. They didn't have accountability. They didn't have a strong, what's it called? They didn't have accountability. They didn't have a strong why. They didn't have a faith in God. And most importantly, they never got to the root of what actually happened to them. You see, a lot of y'all as men have been touched inappropriately. A lot of y'all as men have broke up with somebody when you was like in high school or college and you still never got over it. So you started sleeping around, smoking, drinking, doing drugs, buying OF models, buying prostitutes, all kinds of stuff, hanging out in strip clubs and bars, trying to be hot. And now you feel drained. Now your energy feel drained. You feel lost, confused, and you don't even know who you are. You can't even look a man in the eyes. All you do is just, I don't know. Come on now. You can't be like that as a man. Ain't nobody gonna respect you as a man when you look like this all the doggone time. Look at you. Look at you, boy. Look at you, boy. You look weak. I'm not trying to be funny. I ain't trying to put you down. But you look weak when you look like that. I got to talk to you like a man. I'm just going to be real. If I see a man walking around with his head down looking like that now, I don't respect him. What's wrong with this dude? I'm like, what's wrong, old boy? He kind of weird looking. That's just what I be thinking. And again, it don't got to be like that. It really doesn't have to be like that, bro. I promise you, it really doesn't have to be like that. The issue is with so many of us is that our problem is this. Our problem is that we don't want to listen, we stubborn, and we don't want to accept no help. See, the thing about it is, if you asking me for help, I would suggest you shut up and do what I tell you to do. I'm not trying to be funny like that, but you asked for my help. So shut up and do what I tell you to do. And stop with the shortcuts. Just shut up and do what I tell you to do. That's all you got to do. That's it. Do what I tell you to do. You see the results. Don't over spiritualize it. Don't try to make a little cookie cutter out of it. It's just like the gym. You do what they tell you to do, you see the results. If you don't do what they tell you to do, you don't see the results. See, that's our problem with so many of us as men. So many of us as men, we've either been raised by too many women or we've been raised by too many pseudo-intellectual men. And the problem is this. We don't make nothing happen with our lives. We just whine, we complain. That's the reason why we're falling behind. It ain't got nothing to do with these women. It's us. Ain't got nothing to do with these women. Don't you go around here blaming women for your problems, boy. What's wrong with you now? Shoot, it's you. You the problem. You still don't talk to women. You don't dress nice. You don't lift no weight. You see that, man? That's what you do. Get in that gym and you lifting weights, man. Shoot, but you too busy going up and down like this with Joe Johnson. I ain't trying to shame you or guilt trip you, but I'm trying to get your attention. I'm trying to get your attention, man. I need you to wake up because it's not a game no more. Then people will say, oh, well, you know, nowhere in the Bible does it condone it. But at the end of the day, look, listen, the fruits of the Spirit is self-control. We are called disciples. And most importantly, you're supposed to take your wisdom for what you learn and what's around you. And it's like at the end of the day, why don't we just break it down as simple as this? Why are you doing something that you know only has you feeling good in the moment and feeling terrible afterwards? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would God allow you to do that to yourself when, most importantly, God will give you free will not to do it? Just like he can give you free will to do it, he'll give you free will to resist. Because the Bible does say to flee from temptation, to flee from sexual immorality. Even in the book of Job, Job even said, I made a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully at a woman. And that's one thing I've been realizing. It's just my theory. Now, as a Christian, I work predominantly with Christians, okay? Christians be confused out here. They be so doggone confused. Like, how you not know what the scriptures say? How you not know what the scriptures say? It seems like you don't even understand what the scripture's telling you. You don't even get it no more. You just lost. You're confused. You just don't know. That's crazy. Like, there's plenty of scripture that can back up not looking at porn and not having casual sex with women. You just want to do things the way you want to do them. Just say that. I want to do things the way I want to do them because I am afraid that God does not see me or hear from me anymore. Just tell the truth. The sooner that you tell the truth, the easier things will be. Okay? The easier things going to be if you just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. That's it. Tell the truth. Tell the truth about how you struggle with porn. Okay? Just tell the truth. Stop lying to yourself. That's it. That goes into my next point. You already know. Stop watching porn. That's how you desexualize the brain. Stop watching porn and start talking to women in public. Go up to a woman and just have a conversation with her. Don't think about shagging. Don't think about having sex with her. Don't think about any of that stuff. What you need to do is this. You just need to focus on, you know what? Let me just get to know this woman as a person. It can save you so much time. I've sat down here, and I can tell you right now, I don't even be nervous talking to women. You know what I learned about most women? Most women are just regular, everyday people. That's it. They're regular, everyday people. They got their own issues. They got mood swings. They got this, that, and the other going on with them. But there's a lot of great women out here. There really are. It's just the truth is this, is that many of them, it may just be a friendship. There's going to be women who are rude, got an attitude problem, and can be moody from time to time, okay? But at the end of the day, here's the way I look at it. You got to find what you're into, okay? You got to find a woman who compliments you, not just in a sexual way, but find a woman that compliments you. You know what I'm saying? Find a woman that's nice. Find a woman that's charming. Find someone who cares about the environment. Find someone who cares about her mental health. Find someone that cares about God above us all. Okay? All this doesn't really matter. Because the truth is this, in the inside, all we got is sin. That's just the God's honest truth. You should just pay attention to what a woman got on the inside. Don't really pay attention to all this. I mean, don't mishear me. It's a part of it. That's cool and all. But like the real reality is this, man. All this don't really mean nothing. I met a lot of good looking women, man. And when I sat down and got to know them, I was like, man, I don't even want to talk to this woman no more. She's shallow, she insecure. And not even just that, because there are women out here who are insecure in themselves. But I can't deal with no shallow, disrespectful, rude woman. I just can't do it. For myself, I can't do it. Like, you over here being rude to me, giving me mixed signals. You ain't even talking to me. And then sometimes you talk to me, now you want to blame me for everything because you perfect and I ain't nothing. Nah, I can't be with a woman like that. Nah, I'm good. I can't be with a woman like that. I gotta be with a woman who can hold herself accountable. I gotta be with a woman who say, you know what? This is who I am. This is who I'm going to be. You and I are gonna follow God together, and that's that. Okay? All this, I mean, like I said, I like light-skinned women, but I like dark-skinned women too. I predominantly like black women, black and brown women, to be honest with you. I like natural hair, but I don't mind if a woman's hair is short. I don't mind if she's on the skinnier side. I ain't into a big woman. I ain't into all that. I like them a little bit thicker, but let's just say she had a little bit of a pudge in her stomach or a little bit of a chubby face. I wouldn't really mind that. That's not that big of a deal. I look at her character, if anything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at a woman's character, if anything, man. Because a lot of us, that's our problem. So many of us as men, we put ourselves in these predicaments where we be with a woman and all she's doing is tempting us, whether it's sexually, with the clothes that she's wearing, or the things that she whispering in your ear, and you allowing it because you got to be the lead. You got to be the head. So you got to be, hey, woman, cut all that out. No, we don't do that. And if you got to keep saying that over and over and over again, you got to ask yourself, are you with a woman? Are you with a woman of God? Are you with the right woman? Those are the kind of questions that you need to ask yourself. Because that's the issues with a lot of us. We put ourselves in bad situations and be expected something good to happen. You know that's stupid. You know that's stupid. You who gonna be watching this back, you gonna be like, that's stupid. That's stupid. You shouldn't be doing things like that. Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is making this harder on yourself. Like, why are you going to make this harder on yourself for no reason? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? So in closing, man, here's a couple of things that I definitely didn't mention in the beginning. You're going to have accountability. And when I mean accountability, you need somebody to get in your butt. You need somebody to tell you, hey, look, listen, I have not heard from you in a couple weeks. What is going on? Talk to me. Have you been relapsing? Have you not been relapsing? Have you been looking at things you ain't got no business looking at? Tell the truth. Because that's the only way we're going to get free. The only way we're going to get free is if we hold each other accountable for what we say and what we're going to do. That's the only way we're going to get accountable. The more and more that we hide, the more and more we keep all these little secrets. Ain't no such thing as a secret. Everything going to come. And look here now. Everything that happens in the darkness will always come to the light. Every single time. Every time. You understand? Every single time. No excuses. That's the reason why I admit to everything that I've done. Because I know I'm not doing it no more. All I'm working on right now is helping out the business, working on choosing your freedom, working on the side hustles, got my goals, got my purpose, lifting these weights in the gym, and staying out of trouble. Because when you go to this gym and you look as good as this, let me tell you something, man. You gots to flee. You gots to flee. Gots to flee, man. You see the glow over here? Don't play me. The truth is this. You gots to flee when you look like me. I'm going to say that again. You gots to flee when you look like me, baby. Come on now. That's the truth. You cannot keep putting yourself in these bad situations, not telling nobody about it, staying in your head and think you're going to get free from porn and think you're going to desexualize your brain. You're going to be struggling with lust you're going to be struggling with lust for the rest of your life. If you ain't got no accountability, you ain't got no strong why, and if you don't get to the root cause of why you do this stuff, you have to take a stand. Enough is enough. It's time for a change, man. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. So you got to do that deep clean. You got to do that deep clean. You got to unfollow them women. You got to stop looking at porn. You got to stop watching these TVs and these films, okay? Stop doing the things that you know are detrimental to your health and expecting to be healthy. That's stupid. You know that's stupid. And you're not a stupid person. You watching this video, you know you're not stupid. But you make a lot of dumb decisions. You understand? Why you keep making all these dumb decisions for? For what? Temporary pleasure? And if anything, man, just take it one day at a time. I tell people this all the time. Just take it one day at a time. The problem with so many of us as men, we want to go all the way up here tomorrow. You want to know how it works? It's right here, then 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 right here, and right here. And it may take like 10 years. It may take like a year. It may take 90 days. It may take about a month. It may take 6 months. It may take 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever the case may be. But celebrate them small wins. You got up this morning, okay? Even if you had a relapse, you didn't keep relapsing more and more and more. You've been relapsing less and less and less. Celebrate them wins because the mind got to see a victory. You understand? The mind got to see that victory. And you got to be different out here, man. Don't be afraid to be different out here. Be different. Be different. But yeah, man, that's all I got, man. Until the next video, man, this is 𝐘𝐸 as always. Like, share, subscribe to my video. Let me know what you think about my content. Write in the comments below. Peace, take care, and peace with 2 fingers.